Ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga
I can't
chaka,
stop
ooga,
this
ooga,
feeling
ooga chaka, ooga, ooga,
deep
ooga
inside.
chaka, ooga.
Welcome back to Guardians of the Galaxy Month. So you're all excited about that new movie and you want a better understanding about that comic book group. Well, it's time for me to explain the current Guardians of the Galaxy team, their first major story arc, and then the rotating teammates of Iron Man, Venom, Captain Marvel, and Angela. But first, Star-Lord, Gamora, Groot, Rocket Raccoon, and Drax the Destroyer. Next up is the big green Drax the Destroyer. Now he was once a man and he gets into many conflicts with Thanos. But to truly understand him, we're gonna have to go back to his current origin. Now, just so you guys all know, his history is from some really old comic books, so we're going to skim over the general ideas of what happened so that you have a better understanding about him, but we're not going to go into much depth into many of these stories except for the Annihilation event, because that's going to be a video all to itself. Now, Drax didn't actually start as a big green killing machine. Originally, his name was Arthur Douglas, and while driving through the desert, his car was attacked and destroyed by Thanos as he was flying a spaceship through the area. Arthur and his wife perished in the crash. But his daughter, Heather, was actually taken by Thanos' father, Mentor, and later became Moondragon through Mentor's training. But that's a video for another day. Meanwhile, to ensure that they had someone to combat Thanos, Mentor and the Titan god Kronos capture Arthur Douglas' spirit and they put it into a new body. This man is now known as Drax the Destroyer, and he will be their champion to combat the threats that Thanos presents. Now, Drax's entire purpose in life is to kill Thanos. And that's his entire drive. He doesn't even have his own original memories. Now eventually Drax teams up with Iron Man, and they almost defeat Thanos, but Thanos escapes the first time that they meet. And then when Thanos is after the Cosmic Cube, Drax gets involved and he ends up getting all of his memories back. But while he's dealing with all of these suddenly reoccurring memories, Captain Marvel defeats Thanos. So Drax attacks Captain Marvel for robbing Drax of his one and only purpose. With no purpose remaining, Drax wanders space just thinking about things while waiting for Thanos to revive himself. But by the time that he gets word that Thanos has actually been revived, Captain Marvel and friends killed him off again. So Drax decides that it's probably in his best interest to team up with Captain Marvel, and the two go on many adventures hoping to come across Thanos again. The next time that we see Drax, he becomes possessed and ends up fighting against Moondragon, his daughter, and Thor. Once Thor and Moondragon bring him back to his senses, he teams up with her to search for knowledge in the entirety of space. And eventually, they come across a planet that is rife with civil war, so Moondragon uses her mental powers to stop all conflict and sets herself up as the world's goddess. But Drax then sends a distress signal back to Earth for the Avengers to come and help, as he has even succumbed to her powers, and it takes the Avengers to free Drax. Once freed, he's so furious with Moondragon that he just charges at her to try and stop her, but she rips his soul out of his fake body. Drax perished there, and it took the Avengers to stop Moondragon. Drax wouldn't be back until Thanos was resurrected by Mr. Death. Kronos, in response to this resurrection, resurrected Drax the Destroyer and gave him even more power. It's a rough journey for him as he's still mentally damaged by Moondragon, but eventually he joins forces with many other heroes to take out Thanos and Nebula. But after this adventure is complete, Drax is then entrusted by Adam Warlock to guard the Power Gem. And he ends up on a planet in the Microverse where he can finally be happy. He then joins the other future Guardians of the Galaxy in the Annihilation event, which we'll be covering more in depth very soon. But while Star-Lord, Rocket Raccoon, and Groot are off doing other things, Drax actually worked with Nova and he trained Nova to be a warrior. Drax then fought against the Annihilation Wave and the United Front to eventually free Galactus. And once freed, Galactus transported Moondragon and Drax away from his wrath because he went crazy on that planet that was keeping him captive. Now Drax appears to have joined the Guardians of the Galaxy with Star-Lord and crew, but where will he go from here? Only time will tell, as I'm sure the movie will do a bit of retconning on this character. Now, as for his powers, he actually has been retconned as of Annihilation. So as of that event, Drax has superhuman strength, stamina, and resistance to physical injury. He also seems to favor knives now, because it makes the character more interesting to know that he's an expert of knives. Now for his video game and TV appearances, Drax was on the Silver Surfer animated series, Ultimate Spider-Man, Avengers Assemble, and Hulk Agents of Smash. As for games, he's in Marvel Superheroes in the background, Lego Marvel Superheroes, Disney Infinity 2.0, and is unlockable in the game Marvel Avengers Alliance. Now in the movie, the role of Drax is played by Dave Bautista, the wrestling guy. Now with the entire Guardians of the Galaxy team complete, you're probably wondering, what's next? Well, we're going to cover the first story ever written by Bendis for the new Guardians of the Galaxy team, and we're going to be covering Ronan the Accuser with a little bit of help from my friends over at the other comic book channels. And don't worry, we still have to go over all the bonus cast members, their actual origins, and how they relate to the Guardians of the Galaxy. So, I'll see you guys next time, right here at Comicstorian.